Welcome to the fan reaction show episode on Footy Weeks. We're reacting to the Liverpool versus Manchester United game that we just saw. As an Arsenal fan, it favors me. I'm happy. Liverpool taking the L. And I got Malik on the show. Malik is a Manchester United fan. Welcome, making your debut on the show. Good to have you. And also,
thank you.
we have a rival fan, TJ, wants to come and banter for whatever reason. One way or the other, the result also favors TJ because looking at it, it takes you closer to Liverpool in terms of the EPL standing. But let's get straight into the reaction. 217th derby between these two old rivals, and Manchester United, the last time they won was in 2016. Going into this fixture, a lot of Manchester United fans were not confident, to be fair. Liverpool, going from back of 3 straight losses in both Champions League and in the EPL, everybody felt this was a game that they would come in and bounce back from those 3 consecutive defeats. But seeing what we just saw, Manchester United going in there, this is a statement win. Let me allow you, Malik, to take the floor and tell me, react. What's your reaction with what you've seen in the 90 minutes? Manchester United winning 2-1.
First of all, there was grit, there was fight, there was class. This is one of the best United games that you see in recent years. Going into this match, I can't lie, I was skeptical, but I believe that we had a strong lineup. Like I said on the group chat, there is a method to the madness. Ruben Amorim is building something. He has been building something. But the thing about it is people don't have patience. With the last manager, Eric Ten Hag, I backed him all the way to the end. I didn't want him to leave because he wasn't giving enough time. They've been saying something about culture. They've been saying something about building on something, right? But at this point now, we know that this manager has the chance to build on something. He has been showing it since the beginning of the season, but everyone has just been quick to criticize because we haven't been getting the results. Now you can see that we are getting the results. The good thing about Manchester United that you need to note is that the only way we can go right now is up. You understand? There's really whatever losses that we have going into this campaign is really not going to affect us as much because we have been playing better and better every single game. It's not a situation where we have played bad. Apart from the Greensby game, please nobody bring that up. But in this game, you can see that we went to Anfield, a quote-unquote fortress in the game right now. And we took down Liverpool, the champions. We took them down. They couldn't do anything. I mean, they tried to pass the ball around. They tried to create chances. One of the best goalkeepers in the world, let me say that now, Sene Lamens. Look out for that boy. His second clean sheet.
It was composed today. It was composed today because anything as a football team, anything you're looking out for, especially in that department, is a goalkeeper that is composed. He marshaled his 6-yard box, all those balls that Liverpool were trying to float in. It was good with the aerial balls. He marshaled the defenders, positioned them properly, and they were able to, do a yeoman's job in the game. But TJ, just hold on. Let me still stick on Malik. But looking at Manchester United, the starting lineup with Šeško being benched, because I wasn't cool. I was like, what's Amorim doing? What's Amorim doing here? Šeško scored in the last EPL game, which was against Sunderland. And I think for you to give him that belief and make him go better and better in doing what he's supposed to do as a player, as a striker, you should have started him in a big game, quote unquote. But putting him on the bench, are you okay with the starting lineup, the midfield shape? Fernandes was awful today, in my own opinion. And yes, Diallo gave him a shift, Mbeumo gave him a shift, Cunha gave him a shift. But what you take, do you think moving forward, Amorim should stick to this particular lineup, or you felt it was just one of those days that he worked, or it couldn't have worked in another day or another day?
So there's something to note here when looking at Ruben Amorim's way of picking a lineup. It has been mentioned when he started that he looks at your training. If you train well, you play. If you don't train well, you don't play. So all I can say is I was surprised that Šeško wasn't starting because 2 goals in 2 games. I would expect him to continue in that form. You understand? But when the manager didn't pick him, the only thought that came to my head was what I mentioned at first. maybe he didn't train well after the international break. Maybe he didn't earn his place, to maintain the start that he had in the past 2 games. So, like I said earlier, there's a method to the madness. Ruben Amorim got it spot on by not starting Sesko. What Cunha did on that pitch today, holding up the ball, linking up play, he did amazing. And I beg to differ what he just said about Bruno Fernandes. The only time Bruno Fernandes started messing up, quote unquote, being atrocious, was towards the end of the game where he was giving the ball away a lot. But earlier, if you look at the first, let's say 60 to 75 minutes, you can see that he was careful with the ball. He was operating disciplined. He was very, let me use that word. He was very disciplined
Well,
with the ball. He was
from a
only
neutral,
giving.
I'm speaking from a neutral perspective.
I think I might get your point, because that's why I said towards the end of the game, I was looking at him and he wasn't playing very well for me personally. But in the first 60 to 75 minutes, I would give him his credit. He played okay. Not to the best that we know of Bruno Fernandes, obviously, but he played okay. That missed chance, that was something that was laid on a plate for him by Amad Diallo. Also, that is
Yeah.
someone you should actually bring in there as a contender. As a contender for the match. He played so well today. Him, Mbuemo, who else can I put? Mateus Cunha, Sene Lamens as well, because there were so many aerial balls that Liverpool tried to play into that box, and he was able to take care of every single one of them. The chance that Mohamed Salah missed, I think that chance he missed it because Sene Lamens
He
overstretched.
came out and made himself big.
Exactly,
That's what
he made
normal
himself.
goalkeeper do.
That is very, 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 very good of him. There was also this I forget. There was also this time where he had this double save that was later ruled offside when Alexander Isak, yes, he had a chance on through goal and he made himself big once again and he saved that ball. And then when they hadn't actually raised the flag yet, the ball was taken back out the 18-yard box and it was shot again. And you remember he made that save before the whistle went that the ball was offside. That's a shout there. Matthias Delete, he was also a good player today. Not part of the higher rated players of the game today, but he was also playing well.
He had to put in the
Casemiro,
shift.
I don't think he did put a good shift. Casemiro also put in a good shift. Mason Mount did. He was in and out in the game. I didn't really notice him. It was a good decision to take him out of the game because it seemed like he couldn't really make a good impact to the game. So it's understandable that he was taken out of that game at the time. Who else can I mention?
I think it was on a yellow card then too. I think the reason why
yes, he was.
yeah, he pulled up with that tackle, to be fair. He pulled up with that tackle. I guess,
But
having
it's
flown during the
England. It's
international
England.
break. Yeah, playing in the
Yeah.
international break for Brazil and traveling the distance. I would have wanted to see more of Amad Diallo, but unfortunately the yellow card as well. I think Amorim was trying to play safe because anything could happen. Any second yellow could mess that game up. But also on Manchester, let me come back to Manchester United. TJ, looking at that goal Manchester United scored, the first goal. There's been this ray of light being shone at Van Dijk. We saw what happened against Chelsea when they played you. Him having to be pointing to another defender to defend rather than him closing the gap or closing the space. It happened today again. The build up to the first goal of Manchester United. Mbeumo was on the floor. He didn't know when Mbeumo got up and ran past him. And, Mbeumo ran into that space and Van Dijk was nowhere to be found. Left his man and that was a goal. Do you think Van Dijk is culpable for that goal, or do you think Van Dijk is beginning to slow down due to age?
So normally, basically, this is one thing we've noticed with him. He's someone that doesn't go out. He basically sends someone, and then when that person does the dirty work,
but why does he do that?
Swoops in to get
Sorry, why does he do that?
I believe that's so. It's his own way of being a defender, and if he has somebody, a perfect pairing for him now, definitely someone that they know each other's in and out, just like the way he has had like Matip and also with Joe Gomez. Then like they have some form of connection, so they have some form of understanding, and that way it could make things more like cleaner for him in terms of his defense. That will say, "Oh no, this guy is our solution," and all. But all those exposures, I really think him and Konate, I don't know. Probably that connection is not so in sync. I really don't know. So it's not really working out for him because of this how he has even been, even when playing for country too. I know there was a time they played Argentina, when they played Argentina in the World Cup, and he was also doing all this stuff where he was sending his other pairing to go for the ball and stuff like that. Why he's dodging all those direct hits from Messi and the like. So it's something that is very, very like conversant with Van Dijk, in all honesty. So I wouldn't call it age. This is how he has been playing for a while now, for a while. So
but
I wouldn't call it age.
we could argue that, you know, the Van Dijk of before the ACL injury was seeing a steady decline. The decline might not be that swift, but we're beginning to see it because, come on, if not for his defensive
defenders,
if not for the defensive lapses, if not for the defensive lapses today. Okay, yeah. Carry on.
Okay, I would just like to say, Van Dijk since 2019 has not been the same Van Dijk ever since then. He's not as fast. He's not as calculative. If anybody thinks he's still one of the best defenders right now, I think they should go back and go and learn how to watch football again because they are not looking at what we have all been looking at. Because today, if you look at what he did today, let's note the goal for Brian Mbeumo. He stepped out of his line, right, to try and make a tackle.
Mm-hmm.
He missed, right? What is a good defender meant to do? A seasoned defender, for that matter, you're meant to go back immediately to try and recover. He didn't do that. That was a very, very big lapse in judgment for someone that is so seasoned and someone that is rated highly as him. If you guys
one of the best defenders in the world. Yep.
Exactly. One of the world's best defenders. There was a point where he was nominated at top 3. Was it top 3 or top 5 in the Ballon d'Or voting? So top 3. So you can see that that Van Dijk from that time, I do not think the Van Dijk from 2019, 2018 would have allowed Brandon Mbeumo a chance to be able to go on through goal and make that goal. Also, I believe that Liverpool missed Alisson in this game. They missed him a lot.
Well, if we look at that game, TJ, have your say.
Yeah, so to be frank, honestly speaking, from the first half, I wouldn't lie. Liverpool actually took control of that midfield completely. Honestly, Man U wasn't going to see anything to play. I wouldn't lie. If they were making fast passes, fast touches, fast movement with the ball. Excuse me. Honestly, Man U, they really were not, even despite the old heavy goal and stuff like that, but even if they were able to take complete control of the midfield, they were not going to have this game they had today, honestly speaking. And I really don't know the decision behind. Ritz has not really been what we've expected since he came. But I really don't know why he didn't start this game. Having a Ritz in this game, there could be some differences, in all honesty.
So it's a perfect way to segue in there because I think let's talk about Liverpool. Vert starting on the bench, Ekitike starting on the bench, Frimpong starting on the bench, and we see towards the game when Slot was making the changes, for the very first time, he substituted Salah. Is there something brewing there? Against Crystal Palace, he singled out Salah for not tracking back. Against Chelsea as well, if you look at it, Salah also didn't track back for that late winner for Chelsea. Is this the beginning of the end for Mo Salah? Because it has
been the end. I don't know what you guys think, but me, I believe it has been the end for so long now. He has just been lucky enough to start pad for the past.
Yeah, let's go score for last season.
Excuse me, I said start pad. Allow me to say what I want to say with my full chest. They have been able to start pad the past 2 seasons now, so that's why everybody last season was not good. Manchester City were not good. Arsenal, no matter how much they say they played very well, you guys were still not good. You bottled the league in the end. The season before that, what did you guys do again? Bottled the league as well. So the past 2 seasons, nobody has been good enough to defend against Salah. I'm not
Malik. Your opinion is valid. Apologies, so it doesn't look as if I'm cutting you. Your opinion is valid. It's valid, but we need to give credit to where it's due.
Exactly.
In my own opinion, I think
I really don't
Salah has paid his dues. Salah has really paid his dues, and he's one of the, you could say, he's one of the best ever player that has done anything or appeared in the EPL. Let's just give him the credit. Yes, yes,
I agreed. I want to say something, please.
CJ.
So it's just like saying, oh, Haaland scoring goals, basically, is start padding, being in the right position to put the ball in the net. Trust me, I have a Jackson. that is in those positions and is going to flunk it. He's going to mess it up. He did it 2 seasons. So it's not easy to finish. I won't call it start padding, honestly speaking. It is not easy to finish. I have an Enzo Fernandez that, yes, I even say that one is just start padding and all. But to be frank, finishing also is not easy. So I wouldn't say Salah is just start padding because of, trust me, if someone else was in that position, they also could miss a whole lot of chances. Okay, yes, link up play and stuff like that. Yes, but he finishes, and that's his own contribution to the team.
Crystal Palace.
Sorry, I lost my connection, so I'm just getting back. Okay, so Malik, now I have something for you also. So now I have something also to say. So now, and Hazard, when Hazard was in Chelsea, this was one issue so many coaches had with him. The fact that he doesn't track back. Even Mourinho, when he came back, had issues with him that, Hazard does not contribute defensively. But he has what he does for the team. Why? He pushes the offense. He scores for us. He holds the ball. He creates chances. This is his own contribution to the team. So it's all about you knowing your player, knowing his strengths and working with it. So you cannot be blaming him that, he's not defending. I have a striker in Drogba that used to go to the post and block balls and defend.
Well, I just want to chip in something there because I like to provide context. So if we look at last season when Slot took over Liverpool, we could all say that team was predominantly Klopp's squad. The only player Liverpool added to that squad last season.
Before I did not accept, but today I accept.
Yeah, the only player Liverpool bought was Chiesa from Juventus or wherever he was bought from. And Slot was able to, take that team and minor tweaks here and there in the midfield, giving Gravenberch that free role to play better in that 6 and the double pivot between Gravenberch and McAllister. And we saw the wonders he did. Malik is valid to say other teams were not good last season. He sided Man City, he sided Chelsea, he sided Arsenal as well. But this season, they've gone into the market. They've strengthened, they've bought close to £500 million in the likes of Ekitike, Isak, Wirtz, and Kekes and the likes. So this is predominantly Slot's team. And we've heard in the press conferences where he keeps saying it takes time to gel. Let's give Isak time to bed in. Isak didn't have a preseason. Now this is his team. He has lost 4 games in a bounce. Could we say the same Salah that we're talking about here flourished last season? So what is the difference in this season that is not making Salah flourish? The last time he scored an open goal was against who? Against Bournemouth, I guess. That was the last time Salah scored an open goal this season. But let's look at things objectively. Is it a system? Is it a system thing? Is it a system thing? Is it a tactical thing? Because Slot has, however, gone ahead to tweak whatever his tactics are for this season. It's not same as the way they were playing last season. So could we say it's possibly a system thing?
If I could say something, I could say, let's look at how Salah has been playing with the sort of individuals in the front where he has been thriving.
Yes, we can hear you. Just TJ is saying something. After TJ, you go, Malik.
Where he has been thriving. Okay. So where he has been thriving, you see him playing with the likes of a Firmino. There's some form of connection. There is some form of sync. So this player drops for him. There are so many things these guys contributed. Same thing with Nunes. Even despite how useless Nunes was in Liverpool in terms of scoring and all, but there was some form of sync that he had with Salah in how they play and how they were going forward, how they were pushing things attacking wise. But now if you look at it with these new guys like Ekitike and what's his name? Isak, that sort of thing hasn't formed yet. And I believe down the line, it's something that is going to form. There's going to be that connection and everything is going to gel. Initially, when Man U signed Mbeumo, Cunha, there was no connection up front. But now you could see Mbeumo is sinking into the team. Same for Cunha if you see his game today. So everything takes time. It takes some form of gelling and for everyone to see. It's not everyone that just comes to a club and hits the ground running and that connection just boom. No. So I believe down the line, they are going to understand themselves better. They're going to gel better and they will thrive. But I still have something to say in terms of saying everybody was abysmal last season. No, everyone was not abysmal. If you look at last season, Arsenal, yes, they bottled the league. And that was towards the end of it. But see, I'm not Arsenal fan. See, ask if there's anybody that will ban Arsenal, I will forever. See, I don't even want them to smell this league. My prayer every day is for Arsenal not to win the league. If not, I will not rest. because I have so many people. So my prayer evidence for Arsenal not to win the league, honestly. Arsenal and Man U, they are my problem in the EPL. But to be frank, they still played well.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And bench Gakpo. I don't know
I
if
think
it
we
was
lost.
just
We lost. Yeah, Malik. Oh, we hope it comes back. But we lost him there. The network was a bit foggy at that time. But TJ, let's look at it. You know, like the question I asked. For me, I would say it's a system thing because looking at these new players that have been brought in to the team, unfortunately, Perry is not here or Emmanuel is not here to back Liverpool up, but I think we can still react to the game as rival fans. Looking at it on a neutral level, I feel it's a system thing because the players that they brought in and how it's Slot's responsibility to make these players work, irrespective of whether he wanted the players or not. I know him not trying to upset the apple cart of last season. Now, Verts is a conundrum, whether they want to take it or accept it. How do you want to destroy that midfield that worked for you? Because credit needs to be given to Gravenberch, McAllister, and the third guy in the
Zobo.
middle. There were three in the middle.
Zobo.
Zoboslai. Now, all because you need to shoehorn Verts into the team, Zoboslai is being made to play the right back. We saw that today. It has happened in how many games? 4 consecutive games now. Zoboslai playing in the midfield, all because he needed to shoehorn Verts
I
into
think it's because
the
of
starting lineup.
probably Frimpong is not 100 yet, probably. Because I see no reason why you have a fully fit right back when it's not Maresca. You have a fully fit right back and then you'll be using a defender in that position. No. I say defender,
He
a
started
midfielder
Bradley.
in
He
that
started
position.
Bradley in this game. He started Bradley in this game. Bradley started. But when he needed to go, if you notice the way Liverpool were playing, at the point I was looking at the attack, when they're attacking, they had 8 men attacking and leaving just Van Dijk and Konate behind. And Jones, they had 7 players attacking, and Jones being the one protecting Van Dijk and Konate. And at the point, Jones also took the bold step to attack and move into the defense or into the 18-yard box of Manchester United. But the thing still is, could we say this is a crisis for Liverpool, or is just a bad patch?
So this has been coming since the Galatasaray game. So they lost to Gala, lost to Crystal Palace, lost to Chelsea. So it's a run of bad games, yes. But trust me, in the previous fan reaction, I said it that I've always rated Slots right from these Eredivisie days. So I believe he's going to go back to the drawing board and he's going to whip up something. Trust me, it's just a bad patch, which I believe is going to whip up something. This same thing happened to Chelsea last season also. Sorry that I'm trying to attach almost everything to my club. I love them so much. But this same thing happened to Chelsea too. When we are not title contenders, all we want is our 3 points. And we're winning and winning and winning. And it got to a point, we started losing points in a couple of games. Down the line, we discovered ourselves and then we started pushing for the top 4 battle. So yes, I believe it's something that, and it's still early in the game. So I believe it's something that is going to go back to the drawing board, re-strategize his team, his setup, his gameplay, and then go back out there. To be very frank, Man U played a good game today, just like Malik said.
Yeah,
one of their best games. Because I think so far this season, probably the game against Arsenal, that was another good game that they played, honestly. And this one, in my own opinion, those are the only 2 games I enjoyed that they played well. But to be frank, I don't think Malik said that, because we've been talking about Liverpool, and I also talk about Man U also. Just like Malik said that, he believes, what's it called now? That Amorim has found himself. It's a gradual process. They are moving. To be frank, I don't see them moving anything. Trust me, their next game, they are going to flunk because of they're still not gelled, in my own opinion.
No, because this is a statement win. You know, wins like this can give you that oomph to go into the season and do wonders, to be fair. And, you know, you can also see Manchester United, they're not in every competition. They're just in the Premiership, in the Premier League at the moment. So it's a week. They play one game in a week until the FA Cup resumes in January. That's when it's okay. They now have other fixtures. But if you look at it from now up until December, they just get to play only the EPL. And I think it gives Amorim the time to bed in whatever tactics he's trying to bed in to the new players and also the existing players that have been with him from last season. But looking at, and you could also see they have good record against the top 6. Whenever they played any of the top 6, it's always Amorim gives his best in those games. But the question now is, will there be consistency?
Against Chelsea.
Yeah, but that game is still won. Getting the results is what matters at this point.
Sure.
At this point, either which way, getting the result. I'm sure if Liverpool had got that result today, it could have been, oh, we got it. And listening to Van Dijk after the game, and where they were asking him a question, he said they were under pressure, that the passes were not gelling. And you could see from the back foot of the game that Arsenal played yesterday night, Arsenal going 4 points ahead, Manchester City also winning. These players, they are not robots, they're human. So you could see the pressure on them. And that's the question I want to ask. Do you think this game that Liverpool lost tonight is going to really has opened the door for other teams to come in? Because if you look at the table right now, the distance between Chelsea and Liverpool is not that much. Manchester City is in the mix. Arsenal also is there. And Liverpool cannot continue to go down from here. The next set of games, they need to win. And don't you think that is a pressure moment for Liverpool?
So this crop of players, trust me, quite a couple of them, they've won the league right from club's time. They've won various competitions right from club's time, couple of them. So winning is not going to be a new thing for them. This sort of pressure is not going to be a new thing for them. So it's something they are definitely going to understand, digest, and do what is necessary. Their next couple of games, basically, manager champion Brentford. Oh, they
play Frankfurt. They play Frankfurt. Frankfurt's in the Champions League away.
Yes,
Germany.
then they have Brentford, Crystal Palace. That's in the League Cup. Aston Villa.
Yeah, League Cup.
So I still see them winning their next EPL fixtures against Brentford and Aston Villa. I see them grabbing 6 points from that game. Trust me. They're going to definitely bounce back.
They have some top fixtures coming up. They play Frankfurt in the Champions League, Brentford away in the EPL, Crystal Palace at home in the EFL Cup, Aston Villa at Anfield, Real Madrid, and Man City. Yes. Man, those are tough games.
That's why I said those two games now, the EPL games, that is sure for me. Brentford and Aston Villa. That's why I didn't mention Man City, because when it comes down to Man City, I really don't know. It's going to be a very, very hot and dicey one. But I see them winning both Brentford and Aston Villa. Those guys too, they've not really been at top performance. But just like to answer your question, like I mentioned, these are people that have been playing the game. They've won. They are not juniors. They're not inexperienced. Just like when you see a young team now, you see them last season when people were criticizing Chelsea, saying this is a young team, no leadership experience, no winners mentality. Basically, the only person that like a serial winner in our team then was like James. So all those sort of things were issues. So now having this sort of senior guys, and then just look at the likes of what's it called now? Vets went from an unbeaten season with
Bayern Leverkusen.
Bayern Leverkusen. Yes, and they flourished. He was a key man there. So there are so many things. These are people that have that winner mentality. They have that drive. They have that push. Even they were running riots. Also, they ran riots in the what's it called too, the Europa League then. So these are people that understand what it means to push for things. So I don't see any pressures mounting on them. If it was a very, very young and inexperienced thing, like the likes of Chelsea, I would say, oh yeah, there could be pressure. But I don't see them.
Well, for me, I feel what the pressure is. For me, as a football fan that's been watching the EPL, I feel what the pressure is going to come looking at, last season, when they were failing to win, the only team that was giving them that push was Arsenal. Arsenal was the closest, because at the end of the season, it was a 10-point difference, it was a 10-point gap at the end of the season. And those times Liverpool dropped points, Arsenal failed to capitalize, right? Arsenal couldn't also pick up those points. But this season, you can see the games Liverpool have lost. I know it's early days. Exactly. Arsenal have been able to win their last 3 EPL games. Yes. And also, where it gets tricky is because Manchester City is in the mix. And when you have a manager like Guardiola, you cannot give him an inch. Man City as well have also won their last 3 games. So Man City also is in there. Chelsea as well. Like I said, Chelsea should be in the mix. Chelsea should be in the conversation of contending for the EPL title. Now the door has been opened. There's a Chelsea also. If Manchester United also continues in this form, with this win they had at Anfield tonight, that could spur them into having a good season and also go ahead and winning. So we could say Manchester United is the door open for them. Possibly we can't take anything off because it's football. So it leaves Liverpool under pressure, and that pressure, depending on how they handle it, has Slot ever found himself in this kind of situation in the EPL? So this is a test. This is a test for Arne Slot, in my own opinion. I don't know if you agree with me.
Yes, I vibe to what you said, but like you just also said, it is the early stages of the league. So we're just like 7-8 games in. So it's still very, very fresh and early. And trust me, calling Man City and the likes, Man City also last season, they had injury issues that you see Pep when he was crying out then, even though I don't know which Yamayama injury he was lying on. But yes, he mentioned he had lost key players and all. And this season too, they had key guys also out, with some of them returning, and now you see the rise in form and everything. But injury can happen to anybody and knock you off your game, and you definitely lose your balance and what's it called, composure. The only people I see that even if they should have one serious injury all in their team that can still push basically are Arsenal and Chelsea, because of they have a very, very large squad depth that they can basically rotate around and still push, because of they still have backups that can give a whole lot, unlike other teams. So injury can set in and hit anyone in the game. But yes, I understand what you said, and it's actually quite valid about him not having to have experienced this sort of contention amongst various clubs in the mix.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to put some form of pressure on them. But
like it was an interesting fixture, looking at how the game went. You know, Liverpool also had chances. The positive they can take out of this game is, yes, they are on a bad run of form, as in they are on the result is not going their way. They've lost 4 games in a bounce in all competition, but they're playing well. Look at the stats. They dominated Manchester United today. I think they hit the woodwork 3 times or 4 times. Gakpo had an opportunity, even when they were 2-1 down, to have leveled the game. He headed the ball wide. So they are playing well. So that's a bit of positive. It would have been bad if they've not been playing well and they're losing. Against Chelsea, they played well as well, but they lost towards the end of the game. Against Crystal Palace, they played well as well, but the beginning was awful. Crystal Palace dominated. Crystal Palace should have been 4 or 5 goals up. But today, at home at Anfield, they dominated. They played well. The goal just didn't come. By the end of the day, like you said, it's early days, 8 games gone. And next line of fixture will be a quarter of the season gone. I'm sorry, 1/3 of the season gone. Yeah, 1/4 of the season gone. So the pressure keeps building, and they are the defending champions. They need to defend the title, and if it doesn't go their way, pressure on Slots. I wish Perry was here, and I wish Emmanuel was here to come and defend Liverpool, but they're not here. We're going to call them out.
I wish Maguire was here. I wish Maguire was here.
Because your team lost shouldn't mean you shouldn't come and back your team. Come on, it's a sport game. Thank you, TJ.
I know he said it against Chelsea. That doesn't mean he was going to come, and that's why he came. So I was expecting him to come today because I want to drag him. But it's fine.
Maybe he had a busy schedule. Today's Sunday, possibly. The timing, he's in America, so maybe the time difference is not helping. He could still be in church, who knows? And Malik, that came, big up to you. Thank you very much. It's been nice doing this. We'll be back with the next fan reaction. I think the game will be against. We'll keep our audience posted about it. And this show is sponsored by AM Jersey. There is a link. There is a link. We're going to drop it in the video. We're going to drop it in the description of this video. There is a promo code you can use to shop for your jerseys, retro jerseys, recent jerseys for any of your club, Chelsea, Manchester United. We'll be dropping the link, and you see a video that will describe how to do that. Thank you very much. And we'll hope that you subscribe to our channel. We're trying to build the channel up. Footy Weeds, please help us subscribe and hit the notification button. Thank you, and peace out.